I was unemployed a while ago, and it was really hard.
Aww.
I was so short of money, my kids got an IOU from Santa.
Aww.
So one day, I went into a big office building, and I said, I say, do you have any vacancies here? Then this lady says, hey boss, we've got some comedian here, thinks we want to employ him. Well, I was lucky enough to be offered an interview, but I was quite nervous beforehand. I said to my friend, the trouble is, I'm a jack of all trades and master of none. My friend said, you're an interdisciplinary. Then I said, all I seem to do is moan about people on Facebook. So he said, you're a social media influencer. When I arrived for the interview, the receptionist said to me, they always give people here a good send-off. That's why I've left so many times. The first thing the interviewer asked was, what's my biggest weakness? I said, sticky toffee pudding. Then he asked, what's your biggest strength? I said, hindsight. The boss said, on a scale of 1 to 5, how good are you at maths? I said, 10. Next, he asked me if I was interested in distance working. I said, not remotely. Then we talked about salary, and I said, I want a big chunky figure. But he replied, well, you're not exactly slim. Well, I was fortunate enough to get the job. Mind you, I had to change my surname to Gents because it was the only way to get an office with my name on. To be honest, it's a really nice place to work. They even have a posh drinks machine. I attended the annual teabag changing ceremony only last week. There's lots of motivational posters on the walls. One says, now never comes. Another says, start at the beginning of your day. Last Friday, my colleague told me we've just got paid. I said, oh no, I haven't spent last month's money yet. The social club recently hosted a parachuting course. I asked the receptionist where it was being held. She said, on the 10th floor. I replied, that's a shame, I don't like heights. We have lots of ongoing training. My colleague attended a positive speaking seminar, and he didn't have a bad word to say about it. A month ago, we had our annual conference. The CEO chaired the meeting until seats were provided. Next, the accountant stood up. He held the microphone and said, testing, 1, 2, 5. The head of the IT department did a short PowerPoint presentation. Unfortunately, he'd chosen black text on a black background. After that, the host said, let's make some noise for the next speaker. Apparently, boo wasn't the correct response. The marketing manager showed us a laxative sales chart. Apparently, the bottom has fallen out of the market. He said they're also trying to sell giant beef cubes. Unfortunately, they're struggling to move their stock. The training manager gave us a flip chart presentation on the 10 rules of planning. Unfortunately, she'd only given herself enough space to write the first 9. For the final seminar, the CEO gave a keynote speech. He said, now that I'm internationally acclaimed, I want to make an impact abroad. Just before the end, he said, does anybody want to ask anything? There's no such thing as a silly question. So I asked, how often do they issue their quarterly newsletter? At the end of the day, no one says on his deathbed that he wished he'd spent more time at the office. That's particularly true if you don't work in one.